What's going on? Welcome to another day of mobility. Let's start by getting nice and comfy, flat on your back. Just allow yourself to settle in to a nice relaxing posture. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Let everything slow down and mentally go to your happy place. And as you settle in, let's bring to the front of your mind something that you're grateful for. A person, place, or thing. Something you're happy to have in your life. And as you think of it, it might bring a smile to your face. Just let yourself get absorbed into that moment, appreciating that gratitude, and staying centered on your breath. And we'll settle into that nice relaxing pace of breath that helps you find calm. Directing that air deep into that diaphragm and slowly exhaling through the nose. And we'll run through a quick body scan, feeling for anything around your body that's carrying tension that we can just relieve with your breath. As you exhale, just imagine all those stress muscles, all that tension just floating away. Everything getting nice and soft. Feel yourself sink heavier into your mat. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly exhale that breath. And we'll start today's routine on your left hip flexor. So we'll grab that lacrosse ball, we'll go face down, working in around the crease of that left hip and feeling out what needs attention. It might be on the front of that hip crease, it might be out to the side, it might be the inner part of that crease, it might be slightly above or below the actual crease, just anything in that area. Just feel out what needs attention. And then settle into the right amount of pressure. There should be zero pain here, minimal discomfort. Just let yourself settle into the right amount of pressure today. And doing your best to sync your breathing with that target tissue. As you let go of air, just imagine letting go of all of that tension in that target area. Any adjacent tissues, and any tissue that we don't absolutely need right now to hold this position. Just let yourself get nice and chill, settle into the moment, and mentally find calm. Now we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And as we sigh out that breath, we'll slowly transition to the right side. Start by panning through the crease of that right hip. Start with a quick search. Feel out what needs attention. If you found a good spot on the left, feel free to start in that same area on the right. And if it feels like it needs the same stimulus, let that be your focus. Just experiment a little with your position, your posture, the angle, the amount of pressure you're applying. Just feel out what you need physically and mentally today to get the most out of this program. And every chance we get, circling back to your breath. Nice relaxing rhythm of breath. Directing that air deep into that diaphragm. And as you let go of that air, just imagine softening even more with every breath, especially around that target tissue. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. Take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll transition into your left glute. So let's go face up on your lacrosse ball. Start with a search through that whole butt muscle family. Could be the upper portion, the outside, right near the middle. Just feel out what needs attention. And as you find that spot, experiment a little with the angle, with your posture. If you struggle with hip flexion, feel free to pull that knee in towards your chest. If you struggle with rotation, feel free to rotate by changing your angle of your hip and knee. Let the video be your guide and let your body be your best feedback for what this exercise needs to look like for you to get the most benefit today. And once you're there, settle back to your breath. Nice relaxing rhythm of breath. Let that breath calm your mind. Let your mind calm your body. Focusing on good quality breaths, directing that air deep at a nice slow, controlled, rhythmic pace. And we'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition to the right side. We're working our way through that right glute. You may find the same area needs the same type of stimulus, or you might need to focus on a different area. Just feel out what your body needs today. And it may be very different side to side. Just be sensitive to how your body's responding as you get in to this position, and then circle back to your breath. Once you feel that area start to settle down, you can again experiment with your posture and position, your knee and hip angle. This whole program is about getting better connected with your body. So keep experimenting. Once you've got that position and posture, the version of the exercise is going to work for you. Take your attention back to your breath. Nice passive state of mind. And let that passive state of mind just work its way through your whole body. Constantly scanning for any muscles that are carrying tension that we don't absolutely need right now to hold this position. One more breath here. And we'll sigh out that breath. And we'll take our attention into your left side QL. So your QL or quadratus lumborum extends from your lower ribs down to your pelvis. And we'll start with a quick search on the left side, just the outside of your erector muscles. So search along the length of that area. You'll have what area needs attention. We find it can be useful to slightly lift your right hip off the ground to angle that pressure towards your spine. And it can be helpful again to move through the hip. Whether that's pulling your knee into your chest or moving your hip through some rotation. Again, let the video be a starting point and let your body's feedback tell you if we're on the right track. And whatever this exercise looks like, settling back into your breathing, nice relaxing rhythm of breath, directing that air deep into that diaphragm. Mentally living in your happy place, in a place of gratitude and peace. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And as we exhale that breath, we'll transition into the right side. Searching through that right side QL, feeling out what exactly needs attention on this side. Settling into the right angle, the right amount of pressure, the right posture. And once we're there, focusing back on your breathing. If you find counting your breaths helpful, feel free to count the duration on the inhale, a quick hold, the duration on the exhale, and then a quick hold. And if you're new to counting, a nice place to start is a 4 count in, 4 count hold, 4 count out, 4 count hold. That's your basic box breath. But if you try that and it's too challenging, feel free to scale back to a 3 count. Just settle into whatever version of breath helps you find calm. Directing that air deep into that diaphragm. And breathing through the nose if we can. And let's take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. As we sigh out that breath, we'll transition into the left side T-spine. Starting with that lacrosse ball along that left side of your spine. Your T-spine expands all along your ribs. Any section along your ribs to the left side of your spine is fair game. Just feel out what you need. You may find it helpful to get yourself into an overhead position, especially if you struggle with overhead movements. And once we're into that position, doing your best to keep that target area sink to your lungs. As you breathe out air, imagine breathing out tension around that spine, that mid-back area. And with every passing breath, challenge yourself to turn a new muscle off and find a deeper sense of relaxing. Just settling into that right amount of pressure that helps that tissue start to settle down. Let's take one more long, slow breath here. And as you sigh that breath out, we'll switch to the right side of that T-spine. So a lot of times you'll have the same area tight on the right as you do on the left. That's always a good place to start. It doesn't mean it is the area that needs most attention. And if you notice that it doesn't feel the same, feel free to keep searching. Just feel out whatever your body needs today. And the only person that's going to know that right now is you. And once we're settled into that location, in that angle of pressure, in that posture, taking your attention back to your breathing, directing that air deep into that diaphragm, and letting that air slowly come in through the nose and slowly out through the nose. At whatever pace of breath and shape of breath that helps you find calm. And only focusing on positive thoughts. Negative thoughts are the only thing we don't allow in this routine. Just imagine breathing any of that stress or tension out and living in your happy place. Let's take one more breath. As we sigh out that breath, we'll move into some lateral hip traction. So we're going to use a relatively heavy resistance band for this and loop it either around a door or around an upright. And then we'll loop the opposite end around your upper thigh, really close to your hip. And we want to angle that so the band is pulling perpendicular to the direction of your leg. And with this lead leg, we're going to get into a semi-lunge position, which is like a lizard or a dragon pose, with the band looped around that lead leg. And the idea here is just to create a little bit of subtle separation and pressure release in and around the socket of that hip. It should be zero pain, absolutely minimal discomfort. You really shouldn't be feeling much of anything here at all. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll slowly sigh out that breath. and we'll switch to the right side. So stepping your right leg through that band, and having that band pull the leg away from your body, and really tight in to round that hip. And again, that lead leg will be in a lead leg of a lunge position. And once you're in that posture, experiment a little with the exact angle, the angle of your knee, your hip, how much tension you're applying. Again, we want zero pain, minimal discomfort, just a nice subtle pressure release in the upper part of that hip. And let's take another deep breath here. And we'll sigh out that breath. We'll step out of the band and move into a left side pigeon. So stepping that left leg forward into a pigeon pose to target that outer hip of your left leg. And as we settle in, make sure we've got zero pain in the knee, and our whole target area is that hip, that outer area of that left hip. And then just leaning into that position, finding the right amount of stretch for today. Settling back into your breathing and getting as passive as you can. Try to find a position where it feels like you could fall asleep in this pose. Nice relaxed headspace. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through this lead leg by attempting to press that left heel down into the floor. And let's go ahead. Imagine trying to rotate the lower leg down into the floor, ramping up that tension as we go, activating through that outer hip, attempting to reverse the stretch. Big tension here to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Imagine trying to lift that lead ankle off of the floor, trying to pull it closer to your hips, ramping up that tension as we go. Finishing here with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let go of that breath, getting nice and passive again. Settling into that basic pigeon pose. Circling back to your breath. Just relaxing rhythm of breath, pace of breath, shape of breath. And with each passing breath, try to get more passive through that target area. And we'll take one more breath here. And as you exhale, we'll shift to the right side. So stepping that right leg forward, the right side pigeon, targeting that outer right hip. Finding the right angle of the knee and the hip. It gives you a stretch and zero pain. And then settle into a nice, comfy physical space, mental space. Centering yourself back in your breath. Nice relaxing rhythm of breath that helps you find calm. Turning off as many muscles as you can think of right now, relaxing through your face, your traps, your head, your neck. Every muscle in the lower body that we don't absolutely need right now. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active by attempting to press this right ankle through the floor again. And let's go ahead, starting nice and easy. Actively trying to reverse this stretch. Slowly ramping up that tension as we go. Let's finish with the big squeeze here. Last 5, really squeezing in and pressing into that floor. 3, 2, 1. Let's attempt to reverse that. Trying to pull that ankle off the floor, closer to your chest. Ramping up that tension as we go. Trying to pull deeper into the stretch. Big tension to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let's get nice and passive. Submit to that pigeon pose. Settle back into that nice relaxing rhythm of breath that helps you find calm. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And take your time sighing out that breath. And we'll transition into a muffin bottom. And if you don't have a compression band, then we'll just sink into a squat. But if you have a compression band, start by following through the video, just lopping that band in against your hip flexor, pulling it around your body, looping it around yourself through your closest leg, back around the front, looping around the back through your opposite leg, and then back around and tucked in. And once you're set up, we'll settle into a squat stretch. Try to find the end of your pain-free range here. If you sit deep into a squat and there's any pain at all, elevate your hips. Find a level of stretch that your body's okay with, or you can just relax into the bottom. And in a few seconds, we're going to get active through the hips by attempting to push your knees away from your chest. And let's go ahead. Starting nice and easy, activating through the glutes. Attempting to move your knees away from your body. Ramping up that tension as we go, finishing with big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's actively reverse that. Try to pull your knees closer to your torso. Activating through the hip flexor, ramping up that tension as we go. Big tension here to finish. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Just submit to the position. Nice relaxing headspace. Let that relaxing headspace work its way through your hips. Anything that's on, challenge yourself to turn it off. Or apply less tension, getting as passive as you can. And in 10 seconds, we're going to activate through the ankle by attempting to press the balls of your feet through the floor. And we'll go ahead, starting with nice easy tension, activating through your calf, attempting to press your foot through the floor, using your calf muscle, ramping up tension as we go, finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activating through the front side of your shins, the top of your foot, trying to actively pull yourself into a deeper ankle stretch, pulling the surface of your foot up hard as you can. Big squeeze to finish. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Just submit to the position, relax into the stretch, mentally returning to your happy place. Nice calming rhythm of breath. And we'll take one more long, slow, deep, relaxing breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we will call it a day. Thanks so much for joining us here for some 5-pillar mobility. Hope you enjoyed the routine. If you did, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.